Tranzeet Sports TV back again, and the Champions League match day 7 completed, and the table is looking really interesting out there, depending on what side of the table your interest is. And we have some very fantastic results today. So but before we start, please, I need you to support this movement, Tranzeet Sports TV. Watch our videos, like them, share, and most importantly, if you don't give me your feedback in the comment section, how am I going to know if you're enjoying it or not? Just spare that 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, just make a comment, and as well, let me know what team you support, what your interest is, what your take is in the Champions League this season. So like I said, we have some very interesting results today, and the Bayern Munich, of course, have qualified in the top 2. Basically, them and Arsenal will be looking at who will be on top of the table. Most likely it's going to be Arsenal by the end of the eighth game. And Chelsea played today as well. They won their game. Liverpool obviously beat Marseille 3-0. Liverpool back, and of course Newcastle won their game as well. So the talk today is we're going to look at how English teams are doing on the Champions League this season. They are really showing that EPL, as they have said, many people believe that it's the best league in Europe or in the world actually. Obviously, Barcelona will be discussed today as well. We're going to talk about Liverpool and Chelsea, Newcastle as well. And so just stick around and let's make sense of this one. So I'm going to start with Barcelona. I said this last season that it's going to be difficult for Barcelona to win major trophies, especially Champions League, with the kind of defensive discipline that they have. You can imagine Barcelona at some point in this game were 2-2 on goals. Barcelona has now, in the last 10 games, they've conceded 20 goals and have kept no clean sheet. And that tells you a lot. When you go to play against teams who are disciplined and who can attack you and score as well, it's going to be difficult for you to win those games. For instance, if Arsenal were to play Barcelona today or Bayern Munich, I don't see Barcelona winning that game because they're not going to be able to contend the attack, and the defensive discipline of these two teams might be too strong for Barcelona to break down. And so they can do this with little teams and in Europe, wear them down and score them. But you're not going to continue to do this. I know you're going to say they did it to Real Madrid, but Real Madrid as well have not been good to themselves, especially defensively. They be having their own issues. So Barcelona needs to do something. I know, you say Flink has used it and he has won trophies, but don't forget the trophy that he won, especially in this Barcelona team. And it's not just the highline, it's also the quality of the defensive player that they have, and again, obviously, their setup. So I don't know what you think. Barcelona is in the brink of not qualifying the top 8. So, and this is what the defensive discipline has caused them, because they are supposed to be in that top 8 based on their points, but because of goal difference, that's why they dropped out of the top 8 right now. And until the last game, we'll do another video to look at the games that we're going to be played at the end of the week. Another game that was of interest was Liverpool. Liverpool have had their issues, and it's the same issue, defensive issues, has cost Liverpool a lot this season. Going forward, they brought in a lot of quality in that team, but they've not been able to keep clean sheet. But today, they got their clean sheet, scored 3 goals, though they had a couple of goals disallowed as well. And I'm going to really mention my guy, for me, who has been the best player for Liverpool in this their era of mess, Szoboszlai, smartly slotted away that free kick. And I don't know what happened to Marseille in modern day football since Ronaldinho did what he did, scoring a goal from free kick through under the feet of the wall. A lot of teams started putting a player lying behind the wall, but Marseille forgot. I don't know if they forgot or it was intentional, and Szoboszlai just not observed that and started that ball in from under, and this opened the gate for goals for Liverpool, who also are still. Marseille, a few times they broke through, we are still able to easily play through Liverpool. I don't know how Ancelotti is going to fix this. It looks like this is not going to be fixed this season. And Liverpool Yes, still in the Champions League qualifying stages, but I don't know how they're going to, if they will make it to Champions League next season playing like this in the EPL. So yeah, that now they're out of the top four. I don't know how they're going to get back. So defensive discipline or defensive structure also an issue for Liverpool. Chelsea, they have really dropped down the pecking order in EPL this season, but they found themselves back in Champions League. They won their game. They are now, I think, they're fifth on the table. One goal scored. They really dominated that game, and unfortunately, the keeper of Buffos really had a very good game and kept Chelsea out in a couple of opportunities. And yeah, Chelsea looking good. The only thing I'm going to mention is, as a fan, as a neutral fan, if you are watching Chelsea, it's good in the eye to watch under Liam, but again, it's all on the front foot. It's good for football, it's good to watch, but discipline, I don't know. The other day Chelsea was playing, I saw the ball was turned over and it was just two Chelsea players behind the ball. I don't know how far that can take you. So we are still trying to see. Obviously, you can see his philosophy is going to be attacking, playing on the front foot, but if that can bring Chelsea back to where they want to be, we'll find that out very soon. Like I keep talking about Chelsea, the makeup of that team is still not balanced. There's an imbalance in that squad in regards to experience and positions. They have had injury issues, but every other person has injury issues as well. So Liam probably might have to adapt a little bit, but we'll find out as the weeks go by. And the other game was Newcastle, who also are struggling badly in the EPL this season. But somehow in Champions League, they are doing business as well. They won their game as well, 3-0. And dominated that game, and there was never a time there was a question about how that one is going to turn out. Like I said, Barcelona won away from home to Prague 4-2. They almost gave that one away. It was 2-2 at some point in that game. Barcelona need to step up. So having looked at this game, Bayern Munich won as well 2-0. They had their red card, and Galatasaray played at a 1-1 draw at home to Atletico Madrid. So the table right now, you have Arsenal and Bayern Munich on top of this table, but Arsenal has played 7 and won 7, 21 points, 8 goals difference, and Bayern Munich has 13 goals difference, 18.7 games played. So most likely Arsenal will finish the Champions League on top of the table because there's 5 goals difference between the two of them at this moment. And Real Madrid is now third on the table. They find themselves back 15 points, 7 games played, and 11 goals different. Liverpool fourth on the table, followed by Tottenham. Tottenham again is another team from England. So you have 4 out of 5 English teams on the top 8 of the Champions League this season: Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, and of course Newcastle and Chelsea as well. Actually, you have 5 out of the 6. You know, Tottenham made it to Champions League this season because they won the Europa League. So out of the 6 teams that came from England this season, you have 5 in the top 8, and Chelsea making up that top 8. Chelsea is on 8th position, while Newcastle is 7th, PSG 6th, and Barcelona, like I said earlier on, dropped out of the top 8 on goal difference. They have 5 goals plus, and against Chelsea's plus 6 goals, all in 13 points. We have 5 or 6 teams in 13 points. Chelsea 13, Barcelona 13, Sporting 13, Man City 13, Atletico Madrid 13, Atalanta 13. So Man City are in the brink of not making the automatic top 8. Barcelona as well, and obviously Atletico Madrid and Atlanta. So either of these teams can still make it into the top 8 depending on how results go. So Tottenham, PSG, Newcastle and Chelsea, and maybe can add Liverpool if they lose. Either of these teams can still drop out on the last day. So it's going to be very interesting on the last day of the Champions League, match day 8. So let me know, of these teams, which of them do you think is going to make it? We're going to have a preview of those games before the 8th game of the season in Champions League to review who is most likely going to make. I don't know those games, those fixtures at the moment. I don't have them in my head. But let me know which of these teams do you think is going to make it to automatic qualification. Because if you do that, you know, it gives you avoid 2 extra games. Financially, it might be good for the club, but fiscally for the teams, for the players, it might be too much for them to handle. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like I said, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share this video. And as well, yeah, I really want to know what you think about these teams, these games, and obviously Champions League this season. And the big question is, who do you think will win the Champions League this season? And I will see you again next time.